Sebastian, thanks for joining me. I am a huge cheerleader of all things the Sandbox, all things Sebastian and your team. I was telling you before we even jumped in live how I just continue to watch the things that you say, the things that you write, and have just a tremendous amount of honor for how you are building the Web3 metaverse. So thank you. For those that may not know much about you or the things that you're involved in, the Sandbox and the Game Alliance, can you please introduce yourself to everyone?
Thank you so much, Jan. Yes, it's a pleasure, and I'm glad to have someone in the industry like you who also been supporting all of us. I can call a friend. My name is Sébastien Borget. I'm the CEO and co-founder at the Sandbox, which is a gaming virtual world that empowers players and creators through the use of NFTs and Sand. I'm also the president of the Blockchain Game Alliance, which is an organization that now counts more than 250 members, and as well here promoting adoption from blockchain technology, NFTs, DeFi, and more within the video game industry.
When it comes to developing out communities, it is so different in the Web3 environment, and even more different with video games and the couple hundred that are part of the Alliance, but also Sandbox has become a full-blown metaverse. So there's all these aspects of community development, community stewardship, community decentralization, not holding power, but releasing the power to the people. How do you approach community where it's like, you have to put this hat on with the Sandbox from a game, and this hat on as the president of the Alliance, and this hat on as, you know, the different aspects. So how are you thinking through community? And is there one common theme? And how do you deal with the differences in terms of when you're dealing with different projects and different leadership?
Well, I think it's pretty simple, and it all starts by being part of the community yourself. Like, how can you claim approaching community if you don't talk yourself to the people who make the product, who live with the product, who live with what you're building? And that's what I'm forcing myself to do. And I have a lot of conversation. I have talks. I meet some of them in person, some of our builders, creators, etc. And I really enjoy doing that and enjoy empowering them. That's really important. And how we empower them, it's also by design. Like, every time we introduce a new feature, we make sure we launch NFT, we make sure to do it in a way that we leave the opportunity on purpose to the community to benefit from it, to use that as a key material that then they can augment by contributing, by building with it, by playing with it, and then they can earn a revenue or create more value for everyone. That's the essence for me of like the user generated content and remixing contents. And that's what you find at the core of Sandbox, with two key factors: the creator economy and the play to earn for more, or like opening many more opportunities actually beyond to community manager, commerce and transaction kind of jobs and activities, as well as players now.
So you're always hiring a lot of people, it seems like. You know, Sandbox is growing and there's all this need for talent. If a young person, let's say a young gal comes up to you and she says, hey, what skill set is most desirable? Like, what type of technology should I go get a specialist, you know, skill set in, or should I go get a certificate program? If you're to guide a young person that wants to break into the Web3 ecosystem to work for you or work for one of the video game companies as part of the Alliance, how might you direct a young person in terms of learning a specific technical skill set?
Well, right now, like Sandbox as a platform, our main goal is to grow an ecosystem. So I would this thorough approach, like, yes, we're hiring at Sandbox, but I'm not always trying to get and grow Sandbox only. I'm also trying to grow the overall ecosystem. So if I feel like that person has that capacity to become a successful entrepreneur, or a person that can develop and grow an activity that he or she likes doing, I would encourage that person to go like full steam, like, you know what, you're good at this, you should build your own studio and we'll support you. We'll remove all the risk. We'll train you. We'll provide like academy resource. We launch boot camps at Sandbox so you can become certified creators, for example. And we'll help you grow a business so you can basically focus on what you're good at, hire more people and that share that passion and be one of the first success story to Sandbox. And it's happening right now. Like there's already hundreds of creators who are making a living by creating content with VoxEdit and publishing it on our marketplace. There's dozens of studios that are servicing the 12,000 landowner into our metaverse. There's 5 independent game studios across the world in Korea, Hong Kong, France, Scotland, and actually, yes, expanding in Japan too, which are building for and hiring by themselves. And we just like really support the risk, take all the cost from them, our foundation, and let them have the upside. And I think that's important, like something like when you remove the risk from someone, you essentially enable them to exert their full creativity. Like they are no more constrained by the typical barrier or what makes you think twice, like, oh, should I really do that? And then we can help them, like bring them more content, bring them more IP and customers that I think will help them thrive even more.
When you think about the future and you start to project your goals for the sandbox, for all of the games, for the NFT community, if I say NFT 2024, what type of hopes come to mind in the next 2 or 3 years for you with our community?
Well, I think like we'll be at the point where, well, Sandbox will be largely open now. There will be thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of experience available. Successful creator who will have launched their own NFT collection, their own avatar, their own tickets to access the season and the rewards, and have engaged communities, launch play to earn content and more. And that's, I think at that moment, Sandbox will be like fully decentralized. All lands will be sold and into the hand of users. All sun will be in the hand of users. Governance will be in place. And we even can remove ourselves from that, from operating that world, just becoming a smaller contributor among the overall community. That's essentially the long-term vision. And see that world, see that digital nation, like we take life and people like living, working, playing, interacting, socializing, attending virtual concerts, virtual shows, art galleries, museum, games with IPs or made by users. All of that like this like materialized concretely.
Well, I'm so glad that you jumped in. Let me ask one final question for kind of a final word. If you had, on Tuesday morning, on November 2nd, Jody has a plan to get everybody at Times Square, and he has all the billboards rented. So when everybody's there, if you had the billboards for a moment, what would be a message that you'd give to the entire NFT NYC community, knowing that they're already fully bought in, they're there, they're leaders. So what do you have to say to the leaders of our community and those that are developing and building?
That's tough question. I think I would keep encouraging them, like, how do we further innovate? Like, is what we have achieved right now enough versus the ultimate goal? Like, did we really decentralize everything? Did we allow users to own their identity, to own their asset, to own their cryptocurrency and become their bank? Is there still friction or challenges we can address? And how many more millions of people we can actually make an impact so that we replace the old system and what's the play to earn, as for example, typically speaking about video gaming, as it replaces free to play, or there are still areas, genre of game that we have to work on to convince that there is a better model for everyone.
Well, I think that's a great response. Thanks for taking time to think about it. For anybody that's watching us live or sees the archive of this, thank you for your attention. If you don't know Sebastian, he is a leader amongst leaders in our peer group, and we're so very thankful for you, Sebastian, and I'm excited to see you in New York. If you don't know me, my name's Ian Utilli. I'm one of the co-producers of NFT NYC, and I get the joy of doing these little micro interviews before our event every year. Sebastian, I'll see you in New York. I look forward to having a drink with you and celebrating together all the wonderful things that have happened the last year and a half since we've been together last.